I'm 𝑧Wade, the 𝑧Wade, and 𝑧Wade Photo, and I have kind of an interesting product to show you today. That being said, this video is made possible only because Adaptalux sent me their product for me to review. They have not paid me to make this review. I don't have to return this as far as I know, so I guess this is a gift, but they have put no talking points in front of me. Everything that you're going to hear is just what I think about this product. So what Adaptalux has sent me is a system really for macro photography. Something I find interesting about this product is that it's designed and assembled in the UK. It's kind of an interesting change of pace to an American because we have a lot of things that were designed here, but we don't make them or assemble them here. So what Adaptalux has sent me is the Control Pod 3.0, as well as a couple of plastic bulbs that go on the end of these wacky, bendable lighting arms. There are multiple colors of these. I have a white one and a red one, and you can tell because this one here is red and this one here is not red. It's silver, but that means that it's white. But a little bit of a rundown on how it works. The Control Pod 3.0 is rechargeable via USB-C. And basically what you do is you take one end of this, the non-light bulb end, you stick it in here, and then you have your light. And there you go. And you can take this and you can bend it around. You can come up like this. Whoa. We'll get to that in a second. You can bend this around. You can point it at your subject, get different angles. Pretty cool idea. There are some things I noticed about this right off the bat. One of them is this top button right here. Kind of sticky. It has nice clickable action to it. It does stick pretty horrifically. It's actually still down. And you got to kind of play with it to get it to come back up. That's actually pretty damn frustrating. Something else that I just know is going to be a problem is these come out extremely easy. I'm going to grab it with my pinky and my thumb. That's it. That's all it took. So this has 5 ports for up to 5 lights. You can stick these in really however you want. And now we have a red one. As you move these around, they do kind of blink just because that's not a very solid connection. What I would recommend is that in the next edition of these, Adaptalux actually see if they can get in some kind of locking system. If you want to modify these a little bit, they come with these little like diffusers. And so you can stick this on the end, and it's magnetic. And now you got like a little diffuser. That's pretty cool. And if you want a diffuser with a little bit of color, there you go. Although it's not super blue, and that also kills the power of the light pretty severely, it seems like. I want to see how bright these are in here. Let's get the white one going. Let's put the diffuser on. Let's try the blue. Oh, I don't really like that at all. We're not getting a whole lot of blue. It's kind of just slightly not white. Now let's try the red. Spooky. I could see doing some cool things with portrait with this. I know it's like a macro system, but I could see this being cool in up close headshots of like portraits, either with the Plena or the 85-1.2. This should be purple. No, it's not. Try with the white. All right. See, I just tried to take the diffuser off, which is just like a little magnet, and it takes the freaking light off with it. We really need a lock in here, Adaptalux. That's not going to fly. That takes no effort to pull out. So let's step outside. Let's do just a basic kind of macro shoot. I'll take the Nikon Z8 and the Nikkor Z 105mm f2.8 VRS, and we'll do some macro-ish shots, even though there's no pretty flowers. So I totally screwed up, and I shot this entire segment in 120 slow-mo, which means I did not get any audio. You can see this is kind of foreshadowing me fiddling with this on this cheap little hot shoe mount that I have because they didn't send me one. And now I'm just showing you a little bit of proof that I did indeed take the pictures and I did indeed use this product. I sped this up by a lot and spliced it. That way you didn't have to watch the whole thing because it was basically 15 minutes of slow-mo footage. One pop out, two pop out and throw it across the yard. Another pop out. And here pretty quick, I realized that I was doing it in slow-mo, and it's probably good that you didn't hear all of that because I was cursing up a storm. The red is a little more fun, I guess, but it's still just like, it's really aggravating to use. It's frustrating. Oh my god, I got both of them on there now. It keeps f***ing turning. Adaptalux, you really need to include like a high quality hot shoe mount thing, because this thing just flops all over the place with the one I have, since I had to provide my own, which is not intended for something this heavy and wonky. With these things, they throw everything off balance. Like, I can't keep it straight just because unless you're just doing this thing on a tripod all the time. Yeah, really, this thing is just, it's kind of annoying. Like, that entire thing I just did, it was really like unenjoyable. It made it unenjoyable, if I'm being totally honest. All right, so we got these images in Lightroom, but I just have to say there's a lot of competition for some very good macro products out there that are probably a lot less, well, I know for a fact because I've used some, they're a lot less frustrating to use, and they're more powerful, and I just have to say that, and they're a lot more convenient. Like, that was incredibly tough to fiddle and fool with. It was just very frustrating. Okay, so this was an image taken without the Adaptalux on there, and this is with it. Okay? You just don't get a ton of light. It's just not that powerful. And I think for something, if it's going to be a macro tool, it needs to be a lot more powerful than that. Maybe it is if you get the five lights on there or whatever. Then we have this one without the light. This is also without the light, and this is with it. Now, this does look better. Objectively, this does look better. We shot this not nearly as stopped down to allow more light into the lens, and this is much better. So, not necessarily kind of macro ranges. This is at f4.2. You would want that more stopped down if you're doing, macro without focus stacking. And then we started playing with the light a little bit. This is fun. This is a fun thing. It doesn't look good, but it's fun. Adds a little something in there. I mean, you could totally do something like this in post if you wanted, I suppose. But it's interesting. This is the colors are more fun. I think there's more fun to be had there. Again, this doesn't have the strength of something that you would need for macro. Like I said, I may not even be using this in the capacity that you're supposed to. This isn't a paid review, and so I'm not diving deep into the intricacies of what this thing is supposed to do, but it's just for adding a little bit of extra light. I think it's fine for that, but I don't think that this is a strong macro product. And like I said, fiddling with those arms, if they locked, be great. If you have a high quality locking mechanism for that hot shoe mount, which they didn't include one, maybe there's supposed to be one there, but I had to provide my own, and it's for that little lightweight lume cube, and that thing was just fighting me. It was very frustrating to use. In this kind of sense, this is pretty cool. This looks pretty good. I might be able to use something like this in my shallow depth of field work. I will experiment with some of that with the Adaptalux, begrudgingly, because I know it's going to fight me. It's going to be falling out and popping out, and they have a very, very frustrating product. I really can't recommend this product in its current state. It needs a locking mechanism on the light arms. There needs to be a very high quality hot shoe mount included. So I want to show you that this is not exactly an inexpensive system to get into here. So the Control Pod 3.0 that I have with the 5 light arm ports, it's $217.39. There's a limited edition for $243, and then there is the mini with a single port for $72.52. They do have an interesting system here where you can build a pack. And so if I were to build my pack, there's one Control Pod 3.0. And see, since this was just something that they sent to me, I didn't have the option of selecting this, nor did I receive one. And this is $21.98 for this kind of hot shoe mount here. Now, I will say, it says it's a full metal design, tilt and swivel control, and locking wheels for a secure fit to any camera. That would have been very, very nice to have. Since you sell it for $21.98, I feel the need to say that I do think it's kind of bullshit. It is a bullshit move not to include it with any purchase of the system. It should absolutely be included because it's absolutely necessary. This is a very frustrating system to finagle out in the field on this cheap little self-provided camera mount that I stole from the Lume Cube, and it's not designed for something as heavy and unbalanced as this when you got the arms out there doing their wacky thing. And so this is clearly inexpensive to make. It should just be included. And I would never recommend this product to anybody unless we get this included, because something like this is necessary. Therefore, it should be included. We will add one of these because it is necessary. And then we get to the lighting arms, and these come in at $54.42 a piece. They do have lots of colors. They have the white, they have amber or orange, they have blue, they have green, they have red. There's an extra bright white light, and I would recommend you get this one because it's definitely needed, because you don't get much light out of these, unfortunately. And that one is, again, unfortunately, $72.56. Now, this is very cool right here. I noticed that these are out of stock, but this is a pure ultraviolet, so that could be pretty fun, I think, to have. But, you know, it's $82.25, and it is currently out of stock. Probably because it's very cool. And so I would want the super bright based on our review here, probably 2 of those. And the diffusers, I'm afraid, are just going to hurt me in this whole thing, but they sent me one of these, and I have one of these. And of course, just in case, you know, here's a $13 Adaptalux baseball cap, as well as some other things that you could add to the order. I'm not going to do that. So to get into the system, you're in the ballpark of about $400. And if you go to adorama.com, you can see that there's lots of macro lighting systems. Ignore these. It just comes up when I type in macro lighting. But we have a Smith Victor Pro Series. This is the ring type kind of systems, you know, that you've seen. This is a proven system. They've been around for a very, very long time. $330 for that. That's a 10-inch bicolor LED. Coming down here, we've got a flashpoint ring system for $289. Godox will have the same kind of deal. And then we have systems like this. This happens to be a used macro lighting system. It's a twin flash unit for Canon. And over at B&H, there is a macro flash system. This is actually really cool because you can get multiple lights going on there. You don't have to be stuck at just the 2. So you can mount as many as you can fit on there, right? But this is actually a cool system. I almost got into this one at one point, but I did have the opportunity to use it, and it is very, very cool. It's a proven system. Lots of people like this. I don't know. There's probably not a ton of like terrible reviews on it, and it's fairly inexpensive to get into. You can start off with 2 lights, and then, you know, move up, maybe buy another one, maybe buy a 4th one, whatever. Here you go. This one even comes with the transmitter. It's got the trigger. This is for Nikon kits here. It's got a couple lights, got the ring, got all the stuff in it. Looks like a couple diffusers, $408. Look at the reviews, 4.5 stars. So that's the only point I'm making, is there's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of excellent products. And while this one is neat, it definitely has some issues that just frustrated me. That's about it. I'm Z Wade, the Z Wade in Z Wade Photo. That's all I'm saying, guys.